Long before kings ruled Israel, long before Moses led God's people out of Egypt, there lived a man whose faith would change history forever. His name was Abram, later called Abraham. He wasn't a king. He wasn't a warrior. He wasn't rich because of conquest. He was simply a man who believed God. Through one man's obedience, God began a promise that would bless every nation on earth. This is the story of Abraham, the father of faith. Thousands of years ago, in the city of Ur, Abram lived with his wife Sarai and his family. Although the city was wealthy and filled with impressive buildings, its people worshipped many false gods. One day, the one true God spoke to Abram. "Leave your country, your relatives, and your father's household, and go to the land that I will show you." God made Abram an incredible promise. "I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you, make your name great, and through you all the families of the earth will be blessed." Abram was 75 years old. He did not know where God was leading him, but he trusted God. So Abram, Sarai, and his nephew Lot packed everything they owned and began the long journey to the land of Canaan. When they arrived, God appeared again. "To your offspring I will give this land." Abram built an altar there and worshiped the Lord. As the years passed, God continued blessing Abram. His flocks grew larger, his servants increased. But there was one problem. Abram and Sarai still had no children. They were growing old. Yet God repeated his promise. One night, God brought Abram outside beneath the stars. "Look toward heaven and count the stars, if you are able." Then God said, "So shall your descendants be." Abram believed the Lord, and God counted his faith as righteousness. Later, God changed Abram's name to Abraham, meaning father of many nations. Sarai became Sarah, meaning princess. God promised that Sarah herself would have a son. Abraham was nearly 100 years old. Sarah was 90. Both laughed because it seemed impossible. But God asked, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" At the appointed time, God kept his promise. Sarah gave birth to a baby boy. They named him Isaac, just as God had commanded. Their hearts overflowed with joy. The promised son had finally arrived. Years later, God tested Abraham's faith. He said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will show you." Early the next morning, Abraham obeyed. He saddled his donkey. He took Isaac and 2 servants. Together they traveled for 3 days. When they reached the mountain, Abraham told the servants, "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there and worship. Then we will come back to you." Isaac carried the wood. Abraham carried the fire. As they climbed the mountain together, Isaac asked, "Father?" "Yes, my son," Abraham answered. "The fire and the wood are here," Isaac said. "But where is the lamb for the offering?" Abraham replied with faith, "God himself will provide the lamb." When they reached the place God had shown him, Abraham built an altar. He arranged the wood. Then, trusting God completely, he prepared to offer Isaac. Just as Abraham reached out his hand, the angel of the Lord called from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham!" "Here I am," Abraham answered. The angel said, "Do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your son from me." Abraham looked up. Caught in a nearby thicket was a ram by its horns. God had provided the sacrifice. Abraham offered the ram instead of Isaac. He named that place, "The Lord will provide." Then God renewed his covenant. "Because you have obeyed me, I will surely bless you. Your descendants will be as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. Through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed. Years later, Sarah died and was buried in the land God had promised. Abraham lived many more years, watching God's promises begin to unfold through Isaac. When Abraham died at a good old age, he was buried beside Sarah. But God's covenant did not end there. It continued through Isaac, then Jacob, then the nation of Israel. And many generations later, through Abraham's family line, God fulfilled his greatest promise. Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, was born. Through him, people from every nation can become children of God by faith. Abraham's story reminds us that faith means trusting God, even when we cannot see the whole journey. God always keeps his promises, and nothing is impossible for the Lord.